and destroyed their military infrastructure. Well, with me in the studio is Mohamed Taha from BBC Arabic. Good to have you in the studio, Mohamed. And we've been here several times talking about turning points in the conflict in Gaza. How significant is this evacuation order for northern Gaza now?
It's very significant. This is one of the hardest humanitarian situation in the war across this year. Now the Israeli forces is besieging Jabalia refugee camps from all sides. They really want to enter the camp. It's very difficult. The camp has tens of thousands of civilians that they didn't choose to obey the evacuation orders and go south the Gaza Strip, and they are still there. And as you said, the World Food Program is saying that they cannot enter any food to that part of Gaza since 2 weeks. Can you imagine people for 2 weeks didn't get any new food supplies? They say they drink water that is mixed with the sewage water, and the humanitarian situation is very difficult for anyone who choose not to leave their home. The people are in a very delicate situation because if they leave, they are in risk as well of being exposed to shelling and fighting. Fighting is really intensified around Jabalia refugee camps. According to the Israeli forces, there are tens of Hamas fighters still fighting in the Jabalia camp, and they are trying to deal with that. It's very difficult because it's a city. It's very difficult to operate in a militarily point of view, so they are trying to do that. It's very difficult, and there are other views also that the Israeli forces are trying to separate northern Gaza into two parts and create a buffer zone in the north.
And so what do we know about Hamas's strategies at the moment, especially in northern Gaza?
Hamas is trying to fight. They are trying to prevent the Israeli forces from advancing into Jabalia camp. And they are trying to prevent the Israeli forces from advancing to create that new corridor. So currently, the Israeli forces are controlling the Philadelphia corridor that is close to Egypt, and they are controlling the Netzarim corridor that is separating the South Gaza from the north. And now they are trying, according to military experts, they are trying to create a third corridor that is separating northern Gaza into two parts. So the city of Gaza and northern Gaza, where they are trying to make a buffer zone that is free from any inhabitants, and there are right-wing groups in Israel at the moment. They are unofficial groups that they are trying to sell lands in these parts of northern Gaza as well as in southern Lebanon, which is really alarming. So it's an alarming situation in a humanitarian point of view and in a militarily point of view.
And on Saturday, we saw a visit to Beirut by the Speaker of Iran's parliament. Just tell us how Iran is reacting to its allies in the region being weakened.
Yeah, Iran is. This is a very important visit when you see a top diplomat reach Beirut while Israel is bombarding Beirut day and night. He's risking his life practically because Israel is killing all the top officials in Hezbollah, and Iran, if they are their allies, they might be in risk. But however, he is there. Apparently, there are some diplomat efforts are happening because this man is meeting his Lebanese counterpart Nabih Berri. Nabih Berri is now practically the head diplomat of Hezbollah, because Hezbollah already said in a speech that they will rely on all Nabih Berri efforts in the political side. So apparently there is a kind of negotiations to try to separate the fighting from in Lebanon from the fighting in Gaza, and asking to do a ceasefire in Lebanon away of what's happening in Gaza. And we are seeing what are these political efforts will reach.
Thank you very much. Mohamed Taha from BBC Arabic, thanks for joining us
Thank you,
in the
Catherine.
studio.
Thank you.